everybody. Welcome to the one-on-one edition of the SoCal Prep Report. This is where we take a look at the athletes and coaches and people around the CIF and City section and find out what went on this year. And right now, standing with me is John Weber, the head coach of the CIF champion, state champion, and national champion, Cypress Centurions. Coach, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that. I like all that stuff, national and state and all that. It would be great.
Well, it is right now. Of course, Cypress defeated Harvard Westlake in the CIF finals a couple weeks ago. And Coach, I got to tell you, very impressed with your team. You guys have a well-rounded team. Harvard Westlake is no slouch. They're pretty good. They could have beat you guys.
Absolutely. Harvard Westlake and Jared Halpert and his staff do an amazing job. That team's very, very talented team with as the draft goes on today, but next year at this same time, they'll have a couple kids on that team's names being called, and Crow, starting with him for sure, the center fielder, and then the shortstop. Super talented players and do a great job as a staff for sure.
Now, Coach, you guys played everybody and anybody this year. Your schedule was great, top to bottom. You played in the Boris Classic, which is the #1 baseball tournament in the United States, bar none. All the good teams get invited. Scott Boris is no dummy. He brings them here for a reason.
No doubt about that.
But your run through the playoffs was phenomenal. What was one of your toughest ball games getting into the finals?
Well, I mean, they are all really tough, starting with Servite to start the thing off. And then moving on to Capital Valley, the second game. That game was super tough. Luke Davis, our freshman kid, hit a home run and two-run home run. And then they had the tying run on third and the winning run on second with 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh. That was probably the most nail-biting game. Then you flow from that game into the Ukaipa game. That was here. That was crazy here. A lot of people. It was awesome.
Heaton, throwing heat.
Yes, and Heaton was here, and that guy hadn't lost in 2 years, so that was a nerve-wracking game from a personal level. I don't know if the kids knew that, but I didn't tell them that he has never lost. So that was a concerning game. And then from that game, you move into La Mirada, which we won in 9 innings, and that was another nail-biter. And then on to Dodger Stadium against Harvard Westlake, who's one of the best teams in the country as well. And how that game ended with 2-0.
How's that go in baseball? Tell everybody how that goes in baseball. It's hard to really beat really good. If you have 2 really good basketball teams, it's hard to beat them twice in the same season. Football, the same thing. Look at Mater Dei and Bosco this year. Bosco got them in the first game and in the finals. Mater Dei came back and defeated St. John Bosco and won the title. How hard is it to beat La Mirada twice in the same year?
It's not impossible, apparently, but it seems like it would be. And it's not even La Mirada. I mean, if you really were to replay the whole Division I bracket over again, starting today, I bet you'd have 2 different teams in the finals. It's a crapshoot the whole way through. You got to get a lucky bounce. You got to get this. You got to have your pitchers doing this and the hitters doing that, and all of that. Everyone is so good and it's so competitive, and our coaches in the southern section do such an amazing job. And everyone is so well prepared that you would never know.
Even in winning, look how modest this guy is. He was a front runner all year. It's much harder to play as a front runner all season than it is. Everybody wants to beat #1 or #2. Come on.
That's true. That's very true. No doubt about that.
So it makes the whole season, every game's a playoff game, it seems like.
Well, we try to create that atmosphere from day one of practice, and all the way through, and trying to make sure that we are talking about that and doing that, so that we hopefully, when we get into the playoffs, it's not like it's our first time, even though it is.
One of the great things about winning CIF championship and possibly the national championship, we'll find out real quick, is the band travels with them everywhere he goes. Now you can hear him off in the background. I know you sent them away a minute ago, but I just want people to know that's why you're hearing them today. They're here for you. Yeah. Coach, you brought one of your players with you. Who did you bring today?
I brought in Mike Marsh. He's been a 3-year starter for me at second base. He's going on to Santa Barbara next year, over the next 3 years, hopefully, and then he'll sign as a junior in 3 years from now. But Michael Marsh, yeah.
Hey, Mike, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Talk about your run, man. Here you come in this year. It's your senior year, man, and you're hoping for good things to happen, and you're the last sport of the year to actually finish. Tell us about your run, and did you guys think you'd be here?
Yeah, it was a dream come true, honestly. We practiced all the way in the fall, just thinking about what's going to happen, and you play all the games, but you really are thinking about the end, and you wait for that first playoff game, and once it comes, it's just everybody's on the field, especially as a senior, because it's one game and then you're done. And one game you're left on the field crying. You just don't want to be that guy. So every single inning you're playing to be at Dodger Stadium hoisting that trophy.
Hey, what was that like at Dodger Stadium? I mean, that's what all these baseball players play for. You get to the finals, you get to play at Dodger Stadium. You know, you dream about it. You hope you get there someday, but at least you could say you got there now. You don't have to worry about being pro.
Yeah. I mean, we have two pictures on the outfield of Cypress teams that have already done it. And every single day, I mean, we have a coach, Adam Wilk, in the dugout who did it all, who won the championship, and he told us every single day about how amazing it was. But every single word he said could not have described any feeling even close to what it was at Dodger Stadium, how amazing it was.
Now let's talk about what Coach did for you as a young man. You came up here as a freshman year. You were going crazy like me. I was crazy when I was a freshman in high school, but Coach cut you, man. How could he cut you?
You know what? It's because he loves me so much and he cares about me.
Right.
And he doesn't put anybody ahead of somebody else in the program, no matter how talented you are. And that just speaks to him, and that he really cares about his players more than just making them happy. He wants them to be great people.
Well, I think it says a lot about Coach. You know, Coach, you told me he was your best player as an incoming freshman.
Yeah, he was. Mike was a super talented player in this class of super talented players with Cameron Petty and Braden Murphy and Tyler Chafee and Elias Rios and so on and so forth. But, you know, Mike just wasn't doing what he needed to do to our standards here at Cypress High School, and my standards in particular about the way we go about our business in the classroom and outside of the baseball field. And it was a tough lesson for him to learn, and it was tough for me to have to do what we needed to do, which was get rid of him. And you know, but life's got second chances, and
He made the most of his.
he did. And as long as you make adjustments, right? And Michael recognized some of his weaknesses and made some adjustments. And you know, he and I now, because of that, have probably one of the strongest relationships I've ever had with any of my players.
That's great, man, and it's good, you know, to get a second chance like that. A lot of guys would have got better and just said later, I'm done.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's just not the kind of person I am.
Right.
And I learned from it. I mean, when you hit that all-time low, the only way you can go is up. And I mean, he gave me a second opportunity and said, you know what, you handle your business and do this, then you're back on the field and you have another chance to come in and start as a sophomore, which ultimately I did.
Now let's talk about that Dodger game, because look what you got now. You know, you got your stuff together and you made, you know, strides and got your team to the finals. That game at Dodger Stadium, you know, you knew you were going up against a flamethrower with Harvard Westlake. They have great pitching. They just have a great team all around. At any point, you guys are going into, the fourth inning now, and it's 0-0. What's going through your mind at that point?
You know what? It's just, I thought it was going to be another La Mirada. Honestly, I thought it was going to be another La Mirada game, that it's going to go all the way to the 12th, and the one team that has the right guy that comes up to the plate and hits that one, that's the team that's going to win it. But going in the dugout, everybody was confident. There was never a moment of panic. We were seeing the ball. We were hitting the ball hard. We made a few dumb outs on the bases, which was me, which I would go back and change. But, I mean, we were seeing the curveball, we were seeing the fastball, and we were prepared. And so I felt as if we had a chance, that like Luke Davis did, that we were going to get a run. Our pitching wasn't going to give up anything.
Yeah, Coach, talk about your pitching real quick, and then let's talk about that freshman Davis, man. He really came up big in the finals.
He did. Well, start with the pitching, right? You have Cameron Rapetti, the senior, who's going to Cal State Fullerton, who's our number one all year long, and then our number two kid, the junior left-hander, Brett Wozniak, going to Nebraska. And those two guys pitched every inning in the playoffs and were unbeatable, really. You know, we gave up, what was the first score, Mike, against Servite? 5-2. So we gave up 2 runs to Servite, and then we gave up 3 runs in the next 4 games. It's tough to lose when you don't give up runs.
And at that level of competition, too. Think about it now. You're playing the top teams in Division I. It doesn't get any better.
No, you're right. You're right. And, yeah, I mean, you got Capo Valley and Ukaipa and Harvard Westlake and La Mirada, and you give up 3 runs. It's pretty good. And then on to Luke Davis. Luke Davis is our freshman catcher, and he is a super, super talented young player. And the sky's the limit as long as he keeps his nose to the grindstone and stays humble and keeps working hard. He's going to be another super talented player that we'll be able to post on our wall out here, because he has that abilities, no doubt.
Mike, what about Davis, man? What do you got to say about him? See, you see him. Coach sees him as a player. You see him as a teammate, and you know, a little bit different way.
Yeah, I think it's just his ability to loosen up in games that everybody else gets tight. When you get in the box, he doesn't grip the bat any harder. He doesn't try and do anything more. Like in those games, he approaches every single at bat the same way, which is something I admired about him. And he was just a great. He was a great teammate, honestly, on the field, to where it was like when you play with him, you know he's going to give every single bit that he can, no matter what.
Coach, is that an anomaly to have two freshman catchers starting the CIF final at this level? I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever been done. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're playing in the best section in the country, and in the final game you have two freshman catchers because the Harvard Westlake guy was a freshman as well. I don't know if it's ever been done. I don't know.
And Galloway, the catcher for Harvard Westlake, was no slouch. Just like Davis did, he also made two plays at the plate. And, it's not easy making a play at the plate, especially at Dodger Stadium.
No. I mean, that's a scary position to be in. As an ex-catcher, I can tell you it is. So those guys both did an amazing job of blocking the plate and catching the ball and not panicking and making the tag and doing what they needed to do for sure.
Mike, what do you think going forward with these guys? You're out of here. What is your assessment, man? Is the cupboard going to be bare next year? Are you taking everything with you?
No, not at all. I think they have a lot, and I think they have a lot to prove. And the experience that they've all went through going to Dodger Stadium and experience everything. Brett Wozniak pitching so much in the games that he's going to be able to give a lot of information to the younger guys that are talented coming here. I think they have a good chance. We've won the Empire League who knows how many times in a row. So they're going to be in the playoffs again, and they're going to be given the same opportunity we have. Coach Webb gives everybody else. I mean, he prepares his teams. You could give him any team in the nation, and he will, at the end of the year, they will be able to contend for a title. It's just everything has to go the way it did for us this year too.
Coach, it's not like you didn't already have a big X on your back. You just put a bigger one on there, just saying what he said. Why do you see your team next year coming back? You got the cupboard bare? What do you got?
Well, we do have some pieces coming back. You have the freshman catcher coming back. You have your starting left fielder coming back. You have your starting pitcher coming back. And you have your DH kid coming back in Peter Worth. Look, I don't want to try and sound arrogant, but this is Cypress High School, and there's a reputation that we have here of being good, and we will do everything in our power to be really, really good. We have a really great group of coaching staff from the lower levels, the freshman coach to the JV coach, and our JV team played the same schedule we did, and they were like 17-2 this year. So we started 4 freshmen on that. We're going to probably just turn the page over, and we'll start some some sophomores next year probably. We have a good incoming freshman class.
Sounds like you had a good freshman class this year.
Yeah. I mean, you have your starting catcher in Davis, and then there was four freshmen that started on the JV team. So we're going to turn the page. Will we be as talented as this year? No, we won't be. But look, it's not always about talent. I've been fortunate enough to coach in 5 national championship or title games, or however you define that. And honestly, I think maybe besides this year, 13 team was pretty talented too. I mean, there's 11 guys drafted off that team, all said and done as of yesterday. So I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's going to be a challenge for us, but it's a challenge that I'm excited about. People were asking me the other day, how much longer you have to do it, and I said this. I don't know, but the thought that people think that we're not going to be very talented next year enlightens me and it excites me and it motivates me and it makes me want to get going again. And when I lose that, then I'll be shutting it down. But it's not as bare as people think it might be.
Yeah, and again, we talk about it all the time on the SoCal Prep Report. We have arguments about the parochials against the public and the public school domain in baseball. It just doesn't seem to matter. You guys can reload just as well as the private schools can.
Yeah, and we're fortunate. There's no denying that. Where we are located is a nice spot. You have Bosco, which is about 10 miles away that way, and then you have all the other ones over there. You have the Servites over there, the Orange Lutherans way over there, and everything else. So we're in a situation where we don't really have to worry and compete against those. We don't really lose kids to parochial schools, not in our baseball program here. And in fact, we've gotten a couple of the parochial kids who came to our school.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. Well, listen, Mike, congratulations on being a CIF champ and possibly a national champ. We'll get you fitted for those rings, and you'll probably be out here next year for a ring ceremony of some kind, I'm sure. I don't know, when do they do that now?
Well, it's funny. We have already ordered the rings, or not ordered the rings. I've got all the ring sizes. I'm waiting for the drawing to come back within the next day or so here, and then we'll order it, and then we'll go from there. Everyone's going to be local. We have a kid, Ben James, who's going to Notre Dame. He's really the only kid on our team that's going to be moving out of state. The rest of them will be local enough that we'll be able to get together at some point. I'm not real sure when those will come in, though.
They got to also make sure when they get those rinks made, there's a place for an N for national champions.
Yeah. Well, the Perfect Game has us ranked number 1 in the country, so that's at least nice to see. And
There's more than one, but yeah, I get it. And again, we talked about the top team in the country is Argyle, so the Max Preps and Fielder guys have them rated, but they lost to Carroll, Texas, who lost to Orange Lutheran twice. So I don't understand it. You guys beat Olu. Doesn't matter at this point in time. It's going to be a split national championship. You guys are going to get your share of it. Congratulations, Coach. Thanks for joining us. Mike, thank you as well. And continued success here at Cypress High. It's very exciting to see what a national championship facility looks like, and this looks every bit like it, Coach.
Thank you. There's a lot of time, energy, and effort that goes into this thing for sure. Yeah.
All right, Coach.
But thanks for having us, man. Thanks for coming out.
Right on. Continued success. All right, that's it from Cypress High School. Now we're going to head over to Western High School, and we're going to see what's going on with the Orange County All-Stars. Don't forget, this Friday is the SoCal Prep Bowl, the inaugural SoCal Prep Bowl. So let's head over there and see how everybody's doing. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Now we're at Western High School. This is the practice site for the Orange County team, and standing with me is, well, let me just tell you, this is what a national champion quarterback looks like. This was the nation's leading passer. This is Anthony Munoz, quarterback from Western High School. Anthony, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Winning CIF. And then this guy threw for 5,010 yards on the season, 67 touchdowns. Unbelievable, man. That's just an incredible accomplishment. How did you do that?
I credit my line and my receivers. They gave me the time to get the ball out, and my job is really just to get them the ball and make them do what they do best, make plays. So all credit to them.
Well, obviously you made a lot of plays this season because 67 touchdowns. Some guys don't even have that in their career, much less in one season. Going into the season, did you think your team would excel the way they did?
We worked hard this offseason. We really believed that we had the right pieces to win the CIF championship. So we had all the momentum, all the confidence in ourselves. So we believed the sky was the limit. So when it actually happened, we weren't surprised by any means.
Individual accolades. I know you're a team player. You've mentioned that, hey, it wasn't about me. It was about the team. I just went with the system. I got lucky. But you must have had supreme confidence in your ability to run this type of offense, man. You threw a lot.
Yes, sir. I always know what I'm capable of. Every day I get some doubters, someone saying, oh, you're too small to play quarterback. It just really fuels me, and I know what I'm capable of. So whenever I achieve something, I throw another touchdown, it just brings some fuel outside of me. So I love it. I really do.
For those of you not in the know, okay, there's a difference between a great high school quarterback and a prospect at the next level. Okay, a prospect at the next level will never have a season the way he did, but he'll be about this tall, this much taller, and hasn't really fit into this body the way this young man has. And again, not a lot of guys throw for 5 Gs in a season. That's just incredible. My buddy Josh Booty might have did it, his brother John David, and those guys are national. I mean, those guys were big time. And but man, you're right up there with those guys, and that's just crazy. Those guys are professionals. Real quick, your athletes, your guys out here is a whole new team. How's everybody getting along? What's the experience been like for you?
At the end of the day, it's all football. Everybody's loves being out here. We're all getting along, coming from different schools, and we're just having a good time. We're just doing what we love and all just having fun with one another. So it's going on.
Okay, we're talking with Bobby Blandino, and Bobby plays cornerback, and he's from Los Alamitos High School. We all know about Los Al, and Bobby, first of all, congratulations and for being a name to this All-Star team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now let's talk about you guys' season last year with Los Alamitos. Traditionally, you guys are strong. You got a great coach. How'd you feel you guys did last year?
We did really good. We upset a couple teams that we shouldn't have beat. We beat Poly. We beat Westlake.
Yeah.
We beat some teams that a lot of people didn't. A lot of people doubted us in. So that was we had some good wins over the season. We won Sunset League back to back. So we had some good accomplishments over the year.
Let's talk about now your team. Now you're over here with the Orange County All-Stars. Talk about your experience because it's a new group. Everybody has good skills too.
Everyone here is good at something. Like I'm good at press, then the other corner is good at Fresno Tango, like cover 2. Dallas is good at man. Like everyone's good at something. The running back's good. Everyone here is good. So it's kind of weird to see everyone good at their own.
Yep.
Everyone good at their own little spot. So when everyone's good is at their own spot, we're gonna be something. special this game. This game's going to be crazy for us, I think.
Well, that's one thing about an all-star game. There's no teaching, X's and O's really. I mean,
Exactly.
basically that's all is X's and O's, but there's no teaching technique.
Exactly.
You have technique or you don't by this time.
Exactly. And our DB coach, he says, no matter how you've played throughout your high school, that's how you play. Just do what you're good at. So that's what I think brings us a lot together, because we just get to learn from each other. Like, I'm teaching my other corner how to play man. He's teaching me how to play like cover 3 better than I already knew. So we're really coming together as like a family. A lot of Coach Davidson over here, a lot of his like Western and LoSal, like they're like the same people. So like we stress a lot on family, and like so every time we break on family.
Yeah, Davidson and Coach Fenton from LoSal have similar philosophies when it comes to football, and that philosophy is win, and they both win a lot. Well, all I got to say, Bobby, is good luck this Friday night, man. You guys got your work cut out for you, and LA has their work cut out for them, right?
For real. It's going to be a great game. Make sure you be there, 7 o'clock.
Okay, we're here at Mayfair High School, and this is where they are hosting the Los Angeles team. And we're here with Derek Bedell. He is the head coach of the Los Angeles team. Of course, the head coach at Mayfair. And first of all, Coach, congratulations on a great season. You guys went to the semis this year, and you guys are just like, you've just picked up the baton and have kept the tradition going here at Mayfair.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's been a lot of fun. We've got a lot of really good kids here. The program has evolved over the 4 years I've been here, and to take over for Mike Fitch, who was a legend here on this campus and built the foundation for the football program, to be able to carry on that legacy is pretty awesome for me, my staff, and our players.
Well, you've been doing it because, again, getting to the semifinals, we talk about these playoffs, getting to the semis is tough, man. It's hard to get back. It's like going to the Super Bowl or something, You may get there, your rookie or suffer like Danny Marino, but you may never get back either. So, to carry on traditions, because we've seen so many schools change coaches, change philosophies, and they don't go anywhere, even though they were great. And we've talked about that many times here on the SoCal Prep Report. Now let's talk about the team for Los Angeles. You've had them now for 3 weeks, and tell us about your impressions of the LA team.
I'm excited about these kids. We put the roster together, and we were excited that some key targets for us decided they wanted to play. But overall, it's really been a great group of kids. They come out every day. Every day we have practice, and they work their tail off. And for them to be able to go through all the graduation and all of their commitments and be able to come out here and grow as a team has been pretty cool for only doing it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, traditionally, you'll find out when you get on a 605 All-Star team, and in this case, the LA Orange County game, you meet friends that you're going to have probably for the rest of your life now. A lot of these guys have told me they've made a lot of new acquaintances here, and they're planning on doing things afterward. As a matter of fact, they go out on the weekends now, and that's bonding for you. That's good for you guys right now.
Yeah, no, that really helps, and that's kind of one of the things. I've had the pleasure of doing this All-Star game before as an assistant coach a few years back when I was at Bellflower, and one of the things that we really wanted to do is get these kids to understand that if they can come together and play as a team, you got a better chance at winning it.
Absolutely.
And nobody wants to end their high school playing career with a loss.
Right.
So we've been stressing that a lot this week and in the previous 3 weeks, is that the important part is just trying to get a W and end your career the right way.
Is that your biggest challenge, motivation, or is it getting them to just get all together in a mere month?
I think the biggest challenge is actually getting them to run the plays correctly.
There you go. I figured as much.
But as you grow as a group and you're here every day, you do start to form friendships and bonds, and it makes the coaching part of it a lot easier. And they're grasping what we're trying to do, and we'll go out there and compete. And if you compete with your team, you're going to have a good time.
Coach, I know it's an all-star game, and I know everybody's pretty much equal in ability, but who stands out right now in your mind on this team? You have any standouts?
Yeah, I think Elijah Dolphin from Long Beach Poly has really shown his ability to come off the edge as a pass rusher. Baron Barajas, who was a Mike linebacker here at Mayfair, was two-time All-CIF kid. He's really a stalwart defensively and get us set up and put in the right position. I think offensively, the quarterbacks have been really solid, and our offensive line has come together with a couple of Mayfair guys, a couple of Bosco guys, and I just think overall as a group offensively we're pretty good. Our Travis Davis at tailback is actually a kid that from Artesia, who's a smaller school kid who's really shown his ability to play at this level.
Yeah, he's something else, huh?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch him play.
So I see year in and year out in this ball game, if something's going to go wrong, it's usually the line, man. And how do you get the big guys ready? We talked to one of the big guys, Manzo, earlier, but How do you get these guys ready? Because they're not like these little guys, these DBs and these wide receivers that these guys are always going to be skinny all their lives. These bigger guys, though, they get a little bigger from December till now.
I think it from a schematic standpoint, it's keep it simple. But from a playing standpoint and getting them in some resemblance of shape, it's just not going to happen. Yeah. These guys have been on the banquet circuit and the rest of it. But I think that the truth is that a lot of these kids have been practicing at their junior colleges, and they've been working out in high school with their high school teams, back in the weight room or whatever. So they come in, at least some of them have shown that they've come in as pretty good shape. I'm really not as concerned 3 weeks into it now as I was the first week,
right?
Because I think our kids have actually gotten better physically.
Real quick, talk about the challenge, because this is an all-star game, so there's, defenses would rule this game if you let them. Talk about the handicapping of the defenses and how do you overcome that?
I think what you have to, in the end, athletes win games.
True.
And I think especially in all-star games, if you have some athletes that have big playability, then you can make a couple of plays late in the game. A few years ago when we did this game when I was at Bellflower, like I said, we had a quarterback kid from Downey and a wide receiver. They just made a play. And that's kind of what it takes in games like this. I think defenses always have an advantage at this point in the season, whether it's your regular team or it's an all-star preparation, because it's a little bit easier to get lined up and whatnot. But offensively, we're doing some things, and we'll make some plays, hopefully, with our athletes.
Well, Coach, it sounds like you guys are having a good time, and that's all that matters in a game like this. So we really appreciate you guys coming out, spending some time, and getting these guys ready to go.
That's not all that matters, Rich. All that matters is winning the game. And
I like that.
The truth is that we as coaching staff and we as players, we didn't come out here just to play in a ball game. We came out here to put together a championship or championship, try and get a win in this ball game. But it's been a lot of fun, and it'll be a lot more fun if we get a win.
It'd be a lot of fun to get a win in the inaugural game. You go down in history as the first one through. Coach, once again, congratulations. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we're visiting with Lucio Rodriguez, and, of course, he was a linebacker for Southgate High out in the city section. Lucio, you guys had a great year, and you guys got to the semifinals. Talk about that.
Right. I mean, when we went to some semifinals, it was pretty amazing because I haven't been in the semifinals. It's like last year, but it was a good experience playing against like the top 4 schools, or the top school,
right?
In our division.
Well, when you get to the semifinals, obviously you're one of the top 4 schools in the division, right? So that says a lot. Now you get rewarded. You're out here with an all-star experience. Let's talk about your experience here with all the all-stars, because you're mixing city and CIF now.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a great experience. I don't know. It's just like something new to experience, playing with all these guys from different cities and different places around LA County.
So yourself, your expectations for this game, man. What do you hope to accomplish, man?
I mean, hope to get a lot. I mean, just be there, be a team guy. Get tackles. Hope not make a lot of mistakes, but just be there for my position.
Let's talk about your Rams real quick. What do you think is going to happen with them next year? Leaving them in good hands, or was the cupboard going to be bare because Rodriguez is leaving?
I mean, no, they're going to have a solid coach. They're going to have a solid team. They have a QB. His name is Andrew Gallego. He's going to be a good kid. He played with us in my sophomore year. Yeah, my sophomore year, he was a freshman playing varsity for Southgate. So he's going to be a good leader. He's going to lead the team into the finals.
All right, man. That's great, man. See, the guy's going out, and even though he didn't get in the finals, he's wishing his teammates next year to get in the finals. Lucio, hope your experience is great. Good luck to you. Thank you.
The first annual SoCal Prep Bowl, featuring all-star teams from Los Angeles versus Orange County, is slated for Friday night, June 7th at the new Titan Stadium on the Pioneer High School campus in Whittier. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. This is the former 605 All-Star Football Classic, which had a 50-year history. Instead of the 605 freeway being used as a dividing line between east and west, the county line will be the border. That's the SoCal Prep Bowl, sponsored by the U.S. Navy, Friday evening, June 7th, at the new Titan Stadium on the Pioneer High School campus, located on the corner of the 605 freeway and Slauson Avenue in Whittier. It's the last football game of the season. Be there to see all the action and support your team. That's the SoCal Prep Bowl. Don't miss it.